Onward, forward in our third chapter of Curiosity Kills the Cat. So, I may have mentioned this earlier, but I just see it so frequently that the most absurd ideas through history, they become a joke, and people, we laugh at the absurd. It's our natural response. It's a playful response that we have when we see something that's so absurd, like kissing a cat's ass. But to another degree, the joke embodies the concept and keeps it alive. And so, once you know about this initiation through cat worship, so many catchphrases have deeper context, like the curiosity killing the cat, the cat's ass, you thinking your shit doesn't stink, things like that. A royal pain in the ass. All of these phrases, they live forever. And they live forever because there is a foundation of truth, keeping them alive, perpetuating them. So right now, I want to do hopefully, a quick glimpse at the constellation of Leo. And I will attempt to convince you that the constellation of Leo is not facing to the right. It is facing to the left. And there is very good reason for this. I could go quite in depth, but I don't think I have to go very far to convince you. So Regulus, the star of Regulus, is called the heart of the lion, the heart of Leo. And many people will try to tell you that this is the head of the lion, held high, held tall, and that this is the tail of the lion. And there is some foundation for that. It has at least one leg to stand on. But as with so many things in life, we are often being misdirected on purpose. And it is always valuable to hold space for whatever you're being told for the exact opposite to be true. And for good reason. So today I want to convince you that this is the head of the lion, and that this is actually the tail of the lion, and that Regulus, the star of Regis, the prince star, the star of the king, is in fact the ass of the cat. So first I will point out that the symbol for Leo has a circle and a bit of an omega, the symbol of omega, this archway, the star gate. And in this context, it only makes sense that the right-hand side is the Leo, or the tail, and that the left-hand side is the head of the lion. So that could be enough to convince most people, but I'll take it a few steps further. I am of the impression that this is the tail of the constellation and that the head is over here. And that Regulus is not the heart, but rather the ass of the cat. So one other component to this concept is, as in the zodiac, Leo is just to the right of Cancer and just to the left of Virgo. And in the annual progression, the calendar goes from Cancer to Leo to Virgo. However, in the grand cosmic clock, it flows in a reverse order. It goes in the opposite direction. And in that context, we see some more indicators that this might be the tail of the lion progressing to the left and not to the right. And that supporting evidence is here with the fact that Virgo is before the lion in the grand cosmic year as that clock rolls in reverse order. And Virgo facing the ass of the cat is a significant indicator of initiation. Virgo would be the neophyte, looking at Regulus, the ass of the king. And we all know that the world we live in has much to do with, you kiss up to get ahead in life. You kiss up the ladder. You kiss ass to get up the ladder, and you kick ass down the ladder. And that is a corporate model. There are many sayings and phrases in the corporate world that have everything to do with kissing ass to get ahead in life and kicking the ass of your underlings or even your peers so that you can crawl like crabs in a bucket to the top. So just wanted to point out Cancer is to the left-hand side and Virgo is to the right-hand side. The innocence and the those who see the answer, Cancer. Now, we're going to go even further. I want to point out that Regulus is related to the word Regis. It has to do with prince, royalty, being regal. This is the king of the zodiac, the apex predator, the lion. And that has everything to do with the Regis star. The Regis star is Regulus. And when you register your vehicle, your information is registered, that is initiation. You are beginning a process, and you are putting your allegiance to the crown. And so the concept of registration and a Regis star is essentially kissing the ass of royalty. And culturally, this has profound meaning, and it is embedded into our consciousness still to this day. So I also need to point out, that Regulus, I want to prove that Regulus is the star card relating back to the Black Panther from the Avengers series. I mentioned that Chad Aaron Boseman, CAB, was a bit of a sacrifice. And some of the supporting evidence of that sacrificial spell is that, the star card is the 17th card in the tarot deck. It lands in Aquarius, which is actually in perfect correspondence to Leo. The law of correspondence, you can look that up, but it has a 180 degree representation. Aquarius is in perfect opposition to Leo. And when you add the 1 and the 7 of the 17th card, you end up with 8. And 8 is the month of August. And also, Chad Aaron Boseman was, he died allegedly on August 28th, which is in the month of August. That's actually leading into Virgo, technically. However, I need to point out, if you watched all my previous videos, August 27th, that's Vulcanalia. And Vulcanalia has much to do with sacrifice, has much to do with that Analima, the figure 8 of the heavens. And so, essentially, it is essentially decapitating the 8. That is also one day before John the Baptist was beheaded. And John the Baptist, I do believe, was of African origin. He had the leopard skin that he wore, and he carried locusts embedded in honey, which is an African tradition. So what I'm getting at is I believe that Chad Aaron Boseman was a John the Baptist sacrifice, and had everything to do with giving homage to Leo, the king, the apex predator, the lion, the cat, Black Panther. Dealing with cats, we're dealing with John the Baptist on the day before John the Baptist was beheaded. All highly significant indicators that it was just a ritual, just another ritual. Whether it happened in reality or not does not matter. We know that you can use signs and symbols and fiction to complete a ritual. It does not have to be real. He could be living on an island with Elvis Presley for all we really know. So a couple words that substantiate this, that register is the Regis star, and that you're being initiated into a cult, into a culture, a European, a Eurocentric culture. And this, I don't want to get too racially indignant, but this does have much to do with, the European white blood and the infiltration, the attempts to infiltrate Africa. There's much to say about that, a whole nother video. So in that context, let's think about this word, colonialization. Colonialization, our mind is colonialized. If you're speaking English, you are subjugated. You are subject to the crown. They gave you the words you speak. So, kneel, eyes at Zion. Here we are. We got our eyes on the colon of the lion. Kneel, eyes at Zion. And I'm going to bring that full circle in a minute when I talk about the pyramid. I think this is, like I said, jokes and absurdities, obscenities. They preserve a deeper truth. And the longer you look at that truth, the more you could come to the context of a deep, deep message if you can just focus long enough. Subjugation. Here we have, there is a Lion's Gate in the heavens that is located somewhere in it's the Vulcanalia is the Lion's Gate. And so that's why tax day is April 15th and Vulcanalia is August 27th. It is that gate, the connection of the 8. So when we are subjugated, you are being subject to the gate of the lion. Everything to do with Vulcanalia right there. And there's that word gate. Every time you hear the word gate, you should be thinking about lions. Initiation, archways of initiation, the beginning of a new path, the beginning of a process. Lion King. The initiation of Lion King was a monkey holding up a baby lion, upholding Babylon. I don't have to say much more there. Universal Studios. The initiation of every movie was a lion roaring in your face. And if you look closely, the lion is coming out from behind a curtain. And that curtain has much to do with occultation, magic. You're about to be involved in a deep magic spell, and you are being initiated into a bit of a entertainment, a trance of sorts, entrainment. So here, Lionsgate Films, they're just putting it right out there. They're not even being remotely obscure with that one. So I'm going to close off with going back to this word Catholic. I think we may actually be, in Twilight language, we may be saying the cat hole look. And that goes back to standing on top of the pyramid and looking over the valley to the east. You will see that there is one sphinx to the right-hand side. The left-hand sphinx is missing. It's gone. However, in the days of old, there were two sphinxes marking the gate. One for the winter solstice and one for the summer solstice. And I'm going to bring the phone in closer and we're going to look again at this dollar bill, and standing at the top of the pyramid at that missing capstone, standing from there, facing the rising sun in the morning, I want you to think about what I mentioned in previous videos about the possibility of that seal and that headdress being the Sphinx on your right hand side, and this one on the left being the Sphinx on the left hand side, the one that has left existence, that dissolved when Oedipus solved the riddle. So having a bit of a hard time focusing. There we go. And those two seals are sealing the deal when you register, when you pledge allegiance to the crown. And here's a little map. You can get on, and look at the pyramids of Giza. And just a quick point, the pyramids of Giza were definitely missing from the Bible. Very significant that they failed to mention that location historically in that grand story. Much love, everybody. Peace and strength.